in this video, we're going to dive in and improve your straight airs. So it's awesome. You're taking your energy to big jumps, testing out your straight airs, pushing them. But there's a few mistakes that you're making that are making these a lot more gnarly than we need to be. So we're going to go and tackle those. So hopefully when you hit these big jumps, you can go and make them feel small and not need to worry about it. You can just pull up, cruise them with the boys, and not need to fear for your life on a given occasion, because this looks like a serious fear for life moment. So I'm going to give you some tips that should hopefully remove this from ever happening again. So that's the goal. First, we're going to go and take a look at one of my straight airs, and we're going to go and just point out some of the key points that I'm trying to hit here, and then we'll go and see how we can go and apply those to your riding. So the first thing I want to note is this is a very exaggerated straight air. This is me trying to get maximum pop, and it won't be necessary for the bigger jumps. But the reason why I'm going and still using this one as an example is because it has very good textbook form that you want to hit. You just don't want to do it as exaggerated as this. So the first thing that we want to notice is look at how squared over top of my snowboard I am. I don't have my arms going and having one over here, one over here. They're both in line with each other. My weight's completely set over the balls of my feet, and that's why I can get away with this bend. You don't ever want to have your weight shifted forward. This is called breaking at the waist. But if you go and let your bum come out and you go and hinge forward in ratio with that, that'll keep your weight set over the center of your snowboard. And that's only possible with that straight spine. So this is the bent down position that you can use to get maximum power. That said, this is my maximum power position, and look at how little bend I still have in my legs and upper body. I'm almost more bend in the upper body than the legs, and that's because you don't want too much bend in your legs. Having less bend in the legs makes it easier to handle the G's of a jump and makes it so it's a smaller motion to extend, making timing much easier. And that's the next thing I want to point out is the timing. So you can see that my chest is opening here slightly, but it's happening in a straight up ratio with a pop. And the most important thing here is leaving off of the end of the tail. That goes and sets you up so you can go and get a nice clean up, flat, and down arc, ideally not needing to go and make any adjustments in the air. So when you're going and actually doing your pop, you can let your upper body open a little bit, but we can see here that I'm still staying very straight. Legs are straight, stacked relatively over the body, and the arms are coming out, but they're in ratio, in correlation with each other. So even though this one's over here a bit, this one's over here, so it's keeping my center of balance stacked over here. With that out of the way, let's go and check out your straight airs and see what we can go and apply to them to make them more consistent. So first, we have this one here, and we can already see that your arms are in a good stack position. Seems like a good spot for weight on the balls of your feet, but you're going and not hitting this extended motion. And this is happening because you're having a little bit too much bend and too much hinge in your torso. See how when you come through the spoon of a jump here, you go and get somewhat compressed? This is called G'ing out. And this is happening because you're holding too much bend in your legs through the spoon of a jump. So you want to be a little bit taller in the legs here, because that's actually going to make it so when you come through the spoon, it's less powerful in the legs and it'll be easier to hold a strong body, because also what's happening here is you're coming in with a little bit too much bend. You're getting crushed through the G-force of a jump because it looks like a kicky jump, and that's setting you back seat, making it so you're going and leaving with your chest a little bit open and leaving a little bit heel edge, and that's where this unbalance, out of control feeling comes from. I want to go and just freeze frame right here. This would be the perfect amount of bend in your body. You don't need more bend than that. That should be your maximum bend point until you get really comfortable with the jump, and then you can start adding a little bit more. But a big jump that you're still learning, you want to make sure to have your legs straighter rather than more bent. So we have a few more straight airs here we're going to go and look at. First, this one, the almost dying one. This is happening for, honestly, let me go check this out to see why this is happening, because that is not normal. Okay, so my best guess why this is happening is right here. See how you're starting in the squared off position, and then as you come off the takeoff, you're going and putting more weight onto your toe edge, and then as you pop, see how your upper body's opening up as you pop. That combined with this little bit of toe edge basically setting you up for a hard way front one, because you're going, popping off a toe edge while opening your upper body. So you just snapped a hard way front side 180 by accident there. So that's why this happened. We can go and fix that, and that can never happen again by going and keeping more tall and more strong of the body. So we can see that same problem happening here, but to a less extent. And we can tell it's happening because your toe edge is digging up snow off the takeoff. This means you're too heavy on the toes, making you use that edge pressure. So what you want to be doing here is removing a lot of this opening of the chest and lessening the amount of bend you have in your legs. We're going to go and just do a little comparison to end this off, and that will go and give you the final little bits of changes you want to be making. That should be good enough. Link it, zoom it. Okay, that was a smooth setup. Nice. So comparing the two, actually I want to go and just show right here at the start of a takeoff. See how tall I am coming through the spoon of the jump? That's because it's for the G-force. So that's the first thing I want you to add. Come into a feature taller. You should be at a very tall position here with just a very slight bend in your legs, just enough to put your weight on the balls of your feet. Then I want you to hold that taller position until you get to around, well, just through the spoon of a jump. Hold that taller position until you get through the spoon of a jump. Then you can go and do your crouch down. And I want you to really lessen this crouch down. Instead of this position, I want you to be in this position, but with your weight set over the balls of your feet, just this level of bend of the legs. Then hold that and hold your stacked position of your upper body much longer. Don't let yourself open up. When you're getting used to these big jumps, you don't want to try to pop and actually push off a jump. You want to do something called a coast. And that's where you go and keep your legs a little bit straighter and just let yourself go off a body. And doing that will make it so you can go and keep your focus on keeping your chest more square off a jump. What's really going to help you, because that's the big thing that's throwing you off here, is you're G'ing out and then you're having your upper body rotate a little bit, what's making it so you want to rotate in the air. So for this position here, we want you to be almost fully extended the legs, upper body completely stacked, and you want to be tall in the torso. Make those changes, make those adjustments, and it will make it a lot easier. It's not going to be big, powerful pops off these big jumps right away, just so you know. You need to build that up on smaller jumps, get comfortable with it, and then get comfortable with the big jumps before trying it. So go, focus on keeping straight in the legs, coasting rather than trying to pop, and that's going to make it way easier to go and get control of these jumps. And you can still do a little bit of a pop, a little bit of a motion, just to feel more control in the jump. I'm not telling you to not do that at all. Still do that a little bit. Just don't try to go and actually generate that power through your legs. Your legs are only there to go and guide your board, make sure it maintains tail pressure, and set you up for a straight, tall position. You're not really trying to get more power of your legs than that, because the jump has plenty of power, and using proper form, making sure that you're more tall in the body, will give you way more height than any amount of spring power your legs can give you. So try this out, let me know how it goes, and let me know when you're ready for the next steps.